Ladies and gentlemen, gather round. I've got a story to share that'll light a fire in your soul and change the way you look at your daily habits. This is the tale of a boy named Jack, a self-proclaimed lazy kid who transformed his life through the surprising power of small habits. Picture this: a messy bedroom, clothes strewn everywhere, homework untouched, and a young boy slouched in front of a TV, controller in hand. That was Jack. He was the kind of kid who'd rather play video games than do his chores or study. His parents were at their wits' end. His teachers had given up hope. And Jack, well, he didn't care much about anything beyond his next gaming session. But life has a funny way of throwing curveballs, doesn't it? One day, Jack's grandfather came to visit. Now, Grandpa Joe wasn't your average retiree. He was a former military man, disciplined to the core, with a twinkle in his eye that spoke of wisdom earned through years of experience. Grandpa Joe took one look at Jack's room and said, "Son, you're living in a pigsty." Jack just shrugged, but something in his grandfather's tone made him listen. "You know," Grandpa Joe continued, "life's not about big leaps, it's about small steps, taken consistently." Jack rolled his eyes, but Grandpa Joe wasn't deterred. He made Jack a challenge. "For the next week, I want you to make your bed every morning. That's it, just make your bed." Now, folks, this might sound trivial to you, but for Jack, it was like asking him to climb Mount Everest. Make his bed every day. But something in his grandfather's eyes made Jack agree. The first morning was tough. Jack grumbled and complained, but he made his bed. It took him all of 2 minutes. The second day, it was a little easier. By the third day, Jack realized something strange. He kinda liked seeing his bed made. It made his room look ... better. A week passed, and Grandpa Joe returned. He nodded approvingly at the made bed and said, "Good job, son. Now, let's add another habit. How about putting your clothes in the hamper instead of on the floor?" And so it went, week by week, small habit by small habit. Make the bed. Clothes in the hamper. 5 minutes of reading before bed. Setting out clothes for the next day. These weren't earth-shattering changes, folks. They were tiny, almost insignificant. But here's where the magic happened. As Jack's room got cleaner, he started feeling better about his space. He started inviting friends over more often, and when they came, he found himself tidying up a bit, not wanting them to see a mess. The 5 minutes of reading before bed, it slowly increased to 10, then 15. Jack discovered he actually enjoyed some of the books. His vocabulary improved, and suddenly, English class wasn't such a drag. Setting out clothes the night before meant less rush in the morning. Jack started getting to school on time, sometimes even early. His teachers noticed. They started seeing him as responsible, and their attitudes towards him changed. These small habits began to compound. Jack's grades started to improve. Not dramatically at first, but steadily. C's became B's. Some B's became A's. His parents were amazed at the transformation. But here's the kicker, folks. Jack didn't feel like he was working hard. Each habit was so small, so manahevli, that it never felt overwhelming. He wasn't burning out. He was building momentum. By the time Jack entered high school, he was a different person. Organized, punctual, and with a growing love for learning. His room, always tidy. His grades, honor roll material. And those video games, still there, but now a reward for work well done. Not an escape from responsibility. Now, you might be thinking, that's great for Jack, but what about me? I'm not a kid anymore. Well, let me tell you something. It's never too late to harness the power of small habits. Think about it. What's one tiny thing you could do every day that would make your life a little better? Maybe it's making your bed like Jack. Maybe it's drinking a glass of water first thing in the morning. Or reading one page of a book. Or doing one push-up. This sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? One push-up? How could that possibly make a difference? But that's the beauty of small habits. They're easy to do, so you actually do them. And once you've done one push-up, why not do two? Before you know it, you're doing 10, 20, 50. The power of small habits lies in their consistency. It's not about making huge, dramatic changes. It's about making tiny improvements day after day that compound over time. Jack's story teaches us that transformation doesn't have to be painful. It doesn't have to feel like work. It can be as simple as making your bed every morning. So I challenge you, right here, right now. Choose one small habit. Something so easy you can't say no. Commit to it for a week. Then add another, and another. Remember, you're not aiming for perfection. You're aiming for better than yesterday. And over time, those small improvements will add up to big changes. Jack went from a lazy boy to a successful young man, not through Herculean effort, but through the quiet power of small habits. And if he can do it, so can you. Your life is the sum of your habits. The small decisions you make every day, the tiny actions you take. They're shaping your future, so make them count. Start small, stay consistent, and watch as those tiny habits transform your life in ways you never imagined possible. Because here's the truth, folks, there's no such thing as an overnight success. But there is such a thing as overnight change. It happens the moment you decide to take that first small step. So, what will your first small habit be? What tiny change will you commit to today? The power to transform your life is in your hands. It's in the small choices you make every single day. Remember Jack's story. Remember the power of making your bed. And remember that every great journey begins with a single step. You have the power to change your life, one small habit at a time. So go out there, start small, dream big, and watch as those tiny habits create a whole new you. The choice is yours. The time is now. What small habit will you start today?